Westhuizen from Cape Town is the referee, and it will be Canada to kick off.
Be a huge part of the Canadian effort, I'm sure, this game.
So Hearn, he's shown an ability to get the ball nice and high from the restart, but it's loose and it's been picked up by Carlos Blanco for Spain, and they have the first chance to try and work the ball out of their own half. Sean Duke in 6, one of the best players in the Canadian team, making the tackle. Fejou moving it on to Pedro Martin, who is an outstanding player. Scored a brilliant try earlier on today as they beat Portugal, and here they come. First chance to attack for the Spaniards, but they've lost possession. It's been swept up by Taylor Paris for Canada, and now a chance for them to bring it away. This is Sean Duke trying to get the fend going on the outside, and it's worked. Oh, it's a lovely fend from Duke, and he'll sprint away to the corner. Angel Lopez, the man who fell victim to that very good fend from a very good player.
Yeah, one of the top try scorers in this season's IRB 7 series, Sean Duke. But just watch him, he had defenders inside and out, but he uses his power on 2 occasions with the fend, gets rid of Canosa first, and then Lopez in the second attempt. You're never going to stop a guy with this speed and gas when he's out in the open like that, Tony.
Now, the Canadians are a popular team here, not just because their coaches is former All Black Kieran Crowley. They made the Cup quarterfinals in Wellington last year, which caused great delight amongst the home fans. And how's that for a kick from the sideline from Nathan Hirayama? And a very good start for Team Canada, leading Spain by 7-0. Now support in the crowd. They're not all Canadians. The local volunteers have been handing out all different flags of different nations to different parts of the ground, giving them a team to support when the local favourites aren't playing. Fejou leaving the ball behind him for Spain. And look at Canada trying to swarm around and close the Spaniards down inside their own territory. The kick ahead from Fejou, giving the ball back to Canada, and Paris fights to set it up on the 10-metre mark. Here's Trainer. It'll be a real handful, this fellow. Tries the kick pass out to the wing, and Kieran Hearn has read it. Just needs a good bounce. Oh, good defence, though. Smart reaction from Marcus Poggi, who was awake to the danger. And now Spain will try and work it out and find themselves hemmed inside their own territory. John Moonlight making the tackle. Fejou in support. Canada fighting for it on the ground. And good work from Taylor Ardron, wins the penalty. Taylor Paris takes it and scores. Second try for the Canadians. And the 20-year-old, who, would you believe it, is in his 4th year of international sevens at that age, scores the second try for his team.
Yeah, but individual brilliance here, Tony. You see there, Taylor Paris, his balance and swerve was just uncounted. And look at the enthusiasm. That's what it means to him. They're not playing for the big prize today, but they have an opportunity to get into a final, and that's what it means to him in the Canadian side.
Yes, good points at stake for the winner of the bowl competition. Chance maybe to improve on their 11th place overall. The conversion is not successful, but that's a very good try from Taylor Paris, who made his debut in Wellington as a 17-year-old back in 2010. They invested in the future, and starting to pay dividends, that investment. And here's another very good player, Hirayama. Pass deflected, but Tyler Ardron, the power runner, with a nice offload towards John Moonlight. But Spain getting numbers in the way. And Carlos Blanco to bring it away. Fejou, who's been very prominent early on, trying to work a man into scoring position. Nice little back of the hand pass, but look at Connor Trainer getting over the ball and ripping it back. for the Canadians. There's an offside play there by one of the Spanish players, and taken quickly. The Canadians want to keep it moving. Ardron. Well, he called no hands, maybe the language barrier there, KT.
Yes, indeed, Tony. But you see there, both teams, all 14 players in a 20-metre corridor, very tight. And that's what happens. The Spanish team like to play down those short windows and use the quick passes. The Canadians need to keep it spread back themselves. That's when they look good, when they get it to the edges with the likes of Sian Hearn and also Sean Duke.
Comments from Sevens great, former New Zealand Sevens captain Carl Tinana. Played a lot of rugby in the capital city of Wellington, which has again turned on beautiful fine conditions. As Nathan Hirayama throws Ardron, very good ball winner, the big man. Now they spread it wide, and Paris, who has been full of running in this game and so hard to stop. Taylor Paris gets his second.
Well, he's a well-balanced player, isn't he, Taylor Paris? I thought he had an opportunity to get it to a speed man, but he just used him as a decoy, saw the defence trip. Little arm tackling there from the Spanish team. That's lazy stuff. Gives a little fist pump. Gets another 5-pointer. It's double for the half, Tony.
Well, Paris turning into one of the stars of this contest. Do like the look of Tyler Ardron, the big number one. He's a ball winner, ball carrier. The conversion is good. And Canada now building up a very good lead, 17-0 as we approach half-time.
Just look how he has the ball in two hands, fends off with the left. The awareness, the good balance, the foot speed, and the power.
I'm sure there'll be great delight at that try. The restart from Kieran Hearn. He played in New Zealand as a fullback, Rugby World Cup 2011 for Team Canada. They were very popular visitors. And they're a team going, well, here's John Moonlight. And eventually, the experience of John Moonlight enough. He got the ball down, despite the best efforts of the Spaniards to hold him up. Third try of the weekend for the veteran forward.
Well, they're just blitzing them at the moment. Watch that. Great tackle there by Nathan Hirayama. Lowers the shoulder, and then the power comes on. They go through. Sean Duke does good work on a trainer. Hirayama there to distribute, and that was easy try for John Moonlight.
Well, Paris, well, he could almost have had a second shot there. Ball rebounded back into his arms, wasn't tempted. Here it is. Don't see that often. Could have had another go, got the rebound. The winner of Fiji, France, who would have thought that they would be competing in the bowl section after their, well, in terms of France, good form earlier on in the series, and Fiji their enduring reputation as one of the great nations of sevens rugby. There is Tyler Ardron from McMaster University in Ontario. Spain kick off, and nicely taken down in the bright sunshine by Kieran Hearn. Snapped up by Trainer. And he scored 2 tries against the All Blacks in Rugby World Cup 2011. He's a powerful runner, and he's got a chance to clear out here. Connor Trainer, the star of Canada's gold medal performance in the Pan American Games a couple of years ago. A Canadian star at Rugby World Cup in that same year, and now a star for Canada in the Wellington Sevens of 2013.
Well, he really does exploit some pretty weak defence from Spain. You can see there the fend. The sweeper comes across in the form of Pedro Martin. Didn't even want to know about it. And Connor Trainer just gets into an easy job. Well worked there from him. Great ball play, great speed.
And this time Nathan Hirayama is able to convert from close range, and Canada making no race of it now. 31-0. Well, it's pretty chilly in most parts of Canada at the moment. I'm sure this is warming the hearts of the rugby fans in that beautiful country. And Kieran Hearn with the restart. And Spain, they really have missed their big man, Ignacio Martin, the big Basque from San Sebastian, who does so much of their hard work in the forwards. Feju has had to take over a lot of the organisational work as the tournament has worn on, and they're spilling the ball in the tackle. It just hasn't happened for them in this game, Spain. Good win over Portugal earlier on today.
Yeah, that attack, Tony, was all a bit lateral for mine. They had the numbers. Someone needed to straighten. All crabbed across, and it was just too easy for the defence, and in particular that man there, Trainer, making the big hit, forcing the ball loose. Deserves a good rest.
So Paris puts it in, and they get it wide to Duke. He'll have a go on the outside, but a good, determined defence for Spain. Was Pedro Martin, normally their playmaker, picked up by Lopez, but in the way was Harry Jones. Gratefully received a pass intended for a Spanish supporting player, and once more the Spaniards find themselves backpedaling on defence. Nicely done by Paris, but, well, a nice attempt to free the ball up for the supporting player. And I think if Moonlight had caught that, it would have been... In fact, it was Harry Jones in support. There you go. He would have been away.
Well, Harry Jones was the one that cut off the support play when the Spanish team broke down this near side of the field. That's what we used to call tracking when we were playing TJ, where you pick up a support player, get in the middle so he couldn't connect. Get on the middle, got the turnover, they spread it wide. Geez, there's some flash boots these days.
Oh, those are good Spanish colours, those. Saw plenty of that colour combination many years ago. Lucky enough to go to the Olympic Games in Barcelona.
Crouch. Touch. Sit.
Cleared by Feju. What can Spain do by way of consolation? Just 3.5 minutes to play in the tournament. I'd like to finish on a positive note. Something to take with them next weekend to the United States and the next round when Rolls is on the field in 10. The New Zealander. Not a good pass. Juan Cano has to pick it up. In fact, it's Martin Heredia. Now Feju rolls. Kept it going forward. Canosa, who's had to do so much of the hard work in the absence of Martin. Spain get a penalty, which they take quickly. They've got numbers away to the left. And eventually the pass is floated wide. And Martin Heredia eventually frees the ball up. And, well, Juan Cano scores a try that eventually they made it more difficult than it needed to be, but they do get some consolation.
Yes, indeed, they had numbers out to the left-hand side. You can see the ball playing ability there of Glenn Lewis. Rolls just pleading for an inside runner. Didn't come, so they had three out to the left-hand side. They got it there eventually to Juan Cano. I just think the strength of the Spanish team is their passing and close exchanges. Really is a feature of their game.
So 31-7. Just a couple of minutes to play. Next up, it'll be Fiji against France to play Canada. The winner of that game will play Canada in the bowl final. Pick up 10 points from the tournament. It's not a bad return. Harry Jones buying his team a little time and space. Sean Duke comes in to clear it. Paris, who has been brilliant in this game. Ardron clears it away. Lewis moves it over. Harry Jones moves it on. And a forward pass. Just as Kieran Hearn thought he might have been away.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the Canadian team. Just held the ball a little bit too long. Was the right idea. Just poor execution. He eyes up the player, and that's a good metre and a half forward. There's no one in front of him after that. Kieran Hearn.
Canadians have made a bowl quarter-final and bowl semi-final so far. Now they're going to make a bowl final. Just accumulating those all-important points.
He's got it. You regained it.
No knock on there in the opinion of referee Marius van der Westhuizen. Feju, who's tried to get things going for the Spaniards. All getting a bit tangled up and congested, though. Been a tough weekend for Spain. They copped the backlash from New Zealand yesterday after they'd been beaten by England, lost 36-5. They did beat the United States in their first game, but then beaten by New Zealand and England. Portugal this morning, that was a win, but they found Canada too tough. Canada finishing nicely in Wellington 2013.
Yeah, dominant is probably a word I'd associate with this effort from the Maple Leafs. I want to finish strong here.
Justin Douglas, the 18-year-old, is on for Canada, and he's penalised for hanging on in the tackle. And Spain will try and get one more on the board. Feju holding it up.
10.
They went back 10. So they'll have another go. Rolls. Glenn Lewis Rolls taken 18 out from the line. Lopez. They like to play. They usually play with a bit of flair and confidence. Just haven't been able to do it in this game, and that's a bit too easy. A bit of a flat end to the game, flat end to the tournament for Spain, but a very good win, a comprehensive win for Canada. And they go through to the final of the bowl competition, where they'll play either Fiji or France.